if they fall behind early, and for JDG, I think it is very easy for them to delete minion waves super quickly. You have an Aurora and a Sivir. Minion waves are not going to be a problem. Getting priority in lanes is not going to be an issue. Surprise if you haven't been watching LPL so far that Scout is performing at this level, and I think for me that we're seeing Xiaohu in this form. It's been a while since we've gotten this from him.
Well, speaking of some aggression up at the top side, Xiaohu going to be in a lot of trouble. He was trying his best to crash that wave in, but he had no hope of doing so. Going to just go down to first blood, feed a kill over to the Zed. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Paze and Zhuo.
Instead of even going and picking up the wave, they're just going to give all of this solo over to Light. What is the lane swap situation going to look like? Are we going to continue to go back into these lanes?
Chris getting spotted out. He still has his flash available. He's going to have to use it, but the pillar from Shun is beautiful now. He'll match with the summoner spell of his own. One more auto attack is going to finish the job. And now Xiaohu getting some trouble as well. Zhao has to flash away. Will be able to survive at least for a moment, but now Tian has to use that shadow to escape. Zhuo flashes over, and the weirding from Scout will make it 2-1 JDG. Threshold first, and you know, Tian's going to be able to kind of grab some of this wave, but he's going to be in some trouble underneath his own tier 1. Shun jumps in. Probably just force a little bit of damage back down. Xiaohu trying to desperately get closer to 6. He dashes forward, and he's going to at least make it a 1-for-1 with each mid laner picking up a respective kill.
Over to the opponent mid laner, and that's going to help alleviate some of the trading pressure here from Scout. Early grub's going over, but it is on Vision, so it's only going to be 1 here for Weibo.
JDG should be able to clean up the rest. Hey, the fact that they get 1, even at this point, with how the game state currently is positioned, is at least a small win here for Weibo Gaming, with Zhuo still around at this top side of the map. Should be a very easy 2 grub picked up for JDG. An area that we have not talked too much about is the bottom lane so far. And that was our featured matchup going into this pre-show, going into this best of 5. And Paze has just been the better AD carry at this point throughout the first 2 games, and we're seeing it again.
Objectives here, I gotta say, whatever the break was between JDG ending 4th in the season and coming into tonight, it has done them well.
We're wondering if that could exist maybe for Weibo, who even had some more time than JDG to get right here for the regional finals, which they have found so much success in over the past 2 years. 3 and the healing going to keep him very much in a good position as Xiaohu goes with the empowered Q, and those flashes were traded as you mentioned, and that means that Tian has a great opportunity to go forward with the death mark and get himself his 2nd kill of the game.
This is the problem with this matchup, is that if you cannot put Azir down sufficiently enough, this can end up happening where Azir lives throughout some of your burst and then opens up a window as we saw. So great job from Tian to get at least a bit of reprieve in this game. I love this coming in from JDG. We saw this in game number 1. If you have a mage on a side lane, and this goes for everybody at home, if you have a mage in a side lane, especially one that can't move very easily or gets trapped, just move. Just try to play to their side of the map, and with a Trundle with Trinity Force, they found an angle.
Xiaohu gonna get collapsed upon, but a nice Pop Blossom comes in from Chris to try to slow things down, but Scout will still jump forward and take down his opposing mid laner. Tian dashing in, does not have that ultimate, doesn't want to use it just yet. The Between Worlds gonna find so much damage, and that's gonna be another kill picked up here for Paze. A double kill for the Sivir, and it's Breathe trapped in a 1v5 underneath his own tier 1, which falls before his eyes, and more kills go into the hands of JD Gaming. Only Light remains in the mid lane.
If this, we might just be done in 3. And then I had another 3 games after that. So I don't know. Scout's gonna use the ultimate to clear the wave.
Yeah, Between Worlds to try to get away from the Zeb. The Pop Blossom still
Tian!
The tower taking so much of a job, and it's going to be able to take down Tian, and Scout's going to live. Meanwhile, a dive in the mid lane is going to be a pretty good opportunity for Light to get something back as well. What is happening in this game? As 2 failed dives happen consecutively, 1 for JDG and 1 for Weibo.
Paze is probably dead, doesn't have flash anymore. Enemy team's also coming here to take him out. Why is Light stepping up? Light, you are very greedy, my brother. He gets the kill there. That's another shutdown going over to Weibo. It is Azir grabbing a top tier 1. This is as good as it's going to get, but Tian tanking too much turret shots. Maybe they thought that Nico clone was tanking or something like that. Gold ahead, and you need to keep that up, especially versus a Zed and an Azir.
We'll say getting Light those 2 kills on the Kai'Sa will be very important if Weibo want to have a chance to come back into this one. They're going to trade the 2nd dragon for this Rift Herald, which will result in not as good scaling here for Weibo, but another potential for them to get a little bit more on the map in these next couple.
We need to be getting our items in check here. So JDG now open up. It is 16 minutes, and they have 4 turrets and like carry you through these fights with their range and amazing team fight champions.
Tien is going to continue to be a nuisance in these side lanes, finding Xiaoshu here underneath the tier 1 that has been taken down. Should be an easy kill. Another shutdown picked up for Weibo as they are doing a nice job at finding opportunities. Which is why we're just continuing to wait and see. Is that Xiaohu going to arrive once again in 2025? Hasn't just yet, but still some opportunities. As I say that, Tien goes very aggressive for that blue buff and is going to be in some trouble. Chris is going to go down to the likes of Shun on the Trundle, but Light has still a good opportunity to issue some damage before Xiaoxu comes forward. It's a flash away from Breathe, and just a 1 for nothing. That comes at the cost of that blue buff going down.
All right, no flash for Breathe and for Tien. You got the flash out from Scout, though, as a trade, and the timer on that is 30 seconds before the Otacon. Oh no, Joel, this is the worst time to get caught.
Gets caught out on a ward. Should be another kill coming over. That Plasma going to do the deed as Light goes on a killing spree. And Weibo find another pick. Too far away to try to contest on a flank, at least for now. The Otacon's at 3,000 HP, but Tien's not even close at this point. They're still going to try to go for the flip, and he goes, but it's going to be secured by the Crocodile. And JDG have themselves the Otacon. Now they will collapse upon the Aatrox as Breathe is stuck in a 1v3, but Weibo has arrived. A Pop Blossom will land onto the Trundle, but Xiaoshu still gets the kill onto Chris. Hook lands onto the 80 carry, and Light is burned just like that. Xiaohu with the Emperor's Divide is only going to try to buy some time. It's already stuck in a 2v4, and JDG going to pick up another ace.
An Otacon going over, and 5 for 1. They focused all of their efforts to get rid of this Sivir.
But scooped out of the garbage bin from Group Nirvana headed into Split 3 are delivering here for these teams, trying to make it to each of their first international competitions. And they're doing a good job so far, being just the solid role players here on this JD Gaming team.
Impressive game time coming on through for JDG, but they still need to be able to close out. Still 4 minutes here for Weibo to really turn this game around. I mean, Tien is getting very, very fed. We talked about Xiaohu and Light having very big timers. Duo's just dead.
Whoa,
all right, there he goes.
Hey, sometimes the Fnatic Rush works. We have to give him that. As Light's going to get fourth.
There's nothing else for them to do. Like, look where the mini waves are. Don't think Breathe is going to be able to grab this. You can see that multiple members of JDG are making their way down, and taking control of vision, so important. For right now, Weibo have all their vision on the top side. Breathe is...
Get out of there, bro. He's been
nope,
spotted.
Nope.
Okay. Breathes in some trouble. Thankfully, not going to result in many neutral objectives or anything. In fact, it actually could give Weibo an opportunity to push down the mid lane. They're going to get themselves at least that tier 1, pop that Sun Disc, and give Xiaohu on the run. Scout and Shun chasing him down. Another blast code could be big for him, and he will be able to use it. The Pillar's going to continue to slow him down. It seems like JDG still want the smoke. However, Scout's going to jump in straight to Tien's arms. Light goes forward, the Killer Instinct, and that will be the pop that allows for the Aurora to fall. However, Shun is still very tanky. Tien diving on the page, not able to find the damage just yet. Xiaohu almost is able to do it. He does get himself the double kill, but it will come at the cost of his support going down. Tien uses the Hex Gate to escape right as the Baron spawns, but JDG still get the net advantage, 3 for 2.
Single ward here from JDG is going to spot them on this objective. Chris going to try and find a flank. I don't think this is a real contest coming in from JDG. We do not have the buttons, guys. We have Dragon in 30. Please.
Whoa, coming in with that Hex Gate. The Baron's already secured by Tien. And another kill goes over onto Shun. But here comes Scout coming back into the fight at full HP and trying to make some magic happen. But in goes Breathe. The Q3 finds 2. Light has a triple kill. And only Joel remain. Weibo finally find a fight on their own terms.
Grab it with the Demolish Prop. Grab the Dragon and give themselves even more time in this game. We should not be fighting that as JDG. We just used 2 buttons to try to force out Tien. He's able to jungle privilege himself back into this game. Now
Looking for one on the top side of the map. We see Scout not in a great position right now as Crisp already pulling the trigger. Landed that 3-man Pop Blossom. There's not a ton of follow-up, just enough to zone the rest of JDG away from that tier 2 tower. That is the only reward that Weibo seek. And they will now go on to the retreat with Scout arriving.
No flash here from Chris. That is not going to be available in time for the Dragon. They're going to see if they can chase Xiaohu out. He has no flash. And he just used... Oh,
Not a mana 2. He should just be dead. There is no reason for Weibo to try and save this Azir at this point.
Oh,
but
no.
Light is suddenly out of position as well. Why is he on this side of the map without the rest of his team? He's fighting a 1v2 against Xiaoshu and Shun, and that Pillar doing a whole lot of work. Light goes golden and only delays the inevitable. Shun gets the gold. And now Weibo going to try to find something on the backside of things here. Tien jumping forward with the shadow. He has to go and find a kill onto Pays. The death mark's onto him, but it's not enough. Xiaohu gets the kill, and now it will be the Aatrox falling. A double kill in for the Renekton, and JDG are right back in front.
Waste JDG's Baron. They were not able to use this here.
We'll see. It looks like they do not want to continue to go forward. Just that tier 2. Might have to go towards this dragon anyway, as Breed has spotted out Zhuo on a flank already. Going to be forced out of things here.
What
as
is
they
Zhuo
do
doing?
not, can't even use that Hex Gate. And the Nautilus is already down. Now it's 5v4 on the map for Weibo, and Breed with the World Ender. It's so tanky on the front line. Xiaoshu, I should say, forced to pop that Dominus, and Weibo going to get another chance to deny the soul.
The support here for JDG just sold their team down the river.
In the series, and with the back coming through, it is going to be Weibo starting this Baron up.
All right, Zhuo's going to be on his way, Scout. Oh my god!
Pays takes the Hex Gate. Underneath is only going to be matched here by the Pop Blossom of Crisp, as the rest of Weibo are focusing their attention towards the Baron Nashor. It has not been taken out by anybody just yet. Light stuck in a 1v3. He's Zanya's away from the hook, but he's still going to end up going down. Big carry for Weibo out of the picture. And Pays somehow still alive. Xiaoshu flashes forward, takes down Crisp, and here comes JD Gaming. Xiaohu going to go down, and now it's Tien and Breathe on the run, and Pays on the wrong side of the map, but every side of the map is right. If your name is Pays and you're the 80 carry of JDG, down goes Tien, and down goes Weibo. JDG have just secured match point.
That's going to be it. They're going to use this midwave to end the game here. A dance around the Baron for what felt like 8 minutes in a row. Finally, JDG are able to tussle. They catch out Crisp, and that's going to open up series point here so early on here tonight.
An unbelievable finish to that last team fight, a sequence around the Baron that seemingly lasted for ages, but it's JDG that ended up coming out on top. They stifled a comeback of Weibo and will go up 2-0 in the series.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.